Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How are you all? Just comment if you can hear me. Am I audible? Can you guys see me? Hello, everybody. How are you all? Okay, I am audible. Uh, so I'm in a very good mood today because I've got some amazing feedback from the people who have given their interviews today. This live session is going to be very, very important for each one of you who will be appearing for interviews in the coming days. And this live session is going to be more of me talking because I've prepared a lot of pointers that I want to give it to you guys. Since the time is very short, I do not want to make videos on it. So I will be giving you a lot of information. All I just want is that you guys please have a pen and a paper along with you, because I don't want that after I speak, you just rewatch this video. You can, just keep noting down as and when I speak. So please get a pen and a paper. I'll wait for another 2 to 3 minutes and let everybody join, and then we can start. Till then, hi everybody. Hi Siddharth. Hi Shreya. Hi Shreyans. Hi Bharat. Hope you guys are doing amazing. This live is going to be actually very, very important because I'm going to be discussing a lot of things for you all. And this is the live which you need to attend. Like, this is all you need right now before your interview preparations. Yes. Hello everybody. Hello Prince. Hey Rishi. Hi Kavya. Sophie, I'm great. How are you? How are you guys? Comment and let me know. I know it can be very stressing, but don't you worry. This one and a half hour is all you need. And I'm going to be discussing a lot of things. Yes, GK and micro presentations are definitely on it. So if you guys have a pen and a paper ready, let me just know so that I can start. Hi everybody. Hi Simran. Arijit, hey, how are you? Naina, I'm fine. Hope you're doing amazing. Yes, okay, so everybody is ready now. Yes. All right. So how am I going to be doing it is first half I'm going to be talking about the common questions that you guys were posting me. I think it is still not very clear to a lot of you people, so I will quickly be running through that. Then secondly, I will be talking about the questions which were asked in today's interview sessions, and all of these questions are common to each and every course. After that, I will be digging into each and every subject and the questions that were asked from those subjects and for those particular courses. So I will be giving you a lot of that. Along with that, I will also be talking to you guys about GK, because a lot of questions for general knowledge came, and I know a lot of people have got repeating questions also. So let's just hoping that you also get repeating questions so you can prepare for it. This is the advantage of not going first for the interview session. So I've collected a lot of data, and a lot of questions were already repeating. So I know that the interviewers are asking repeated questions. So I will be discussing all of those questions with each one of you, and so that after this session you just have to go prepare for those questions, and you will be ready for your interview. I will be discussing all the questions which were asked for GK today. A lot of people have given me feedback, so I will be talking about that. And then lastly, I'll be talking to you guys about micro presentation, what all topics came for micro presentation today, and then we can just take up a few questions as you want. I know time is going to be a very big crunch because a lot of you guys are having interviews tomorrow, so I don't want to wait for really really long. So let's just get started. First and foremost, the overall general feedback that I got about interviews is that they were not tough. The interviewers were very, very polite. The panels were very, very adjusting and understanding. And all the questions that they were asking was very, very general, and everything that you prepared. A lot of people, I'm really happy that they gave me very positive feedback that a lot of things, just because they went through my tips and everything, they were able to ace their interviews and their micro presentations. I'm really, really happy for that. And, I'm just very overjoyed and overwhelmed with the responses that I've got. And hopefully, for all the people who are watching this live, you guys are also going to be sending me messages tomorrow of how great your interview was, and you are expecting positive results. So hopefully, let's just get started. So the first doubt was mobile versus laptop. See, guys, you guys can give your interviews on your laptops as well as on your phones. but the only problem with the phones is that they are not stable. So if you can keep it on a stable platform, then you can definitely give it on your phones as well. Because I know a lot of people don't have laptops and everything, but it's okay. You can give it on your phone, but just make sure that you keep a stable, some kind of stable platform behind it, so that the phone doesn't move, because it doesn't put a correct impression. So do that. Use of earphones is allowed. You guys can definitely do it, because I understand for better quality, audio quality, you would want to use audio, and that is perfectly fine. You guys can do that. That is not a problem. So everyone who's listening, you guys can definitely give it from your laptop as well as from your phones. You guys can use your earphones. As per my recommendation, I would still suggest that you give it on a laptop, because I just feel that it is much better, because you would have a wider screen. You will be able to see your panelists much better, and it's just better for eye contact. One more thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that please look into the web camera. A lot of the people who were giving the interviews today, the interviews specifically asked them, hey, can you please look into the camera? We are not able. Your eyes are just rolling down towards the keypad and everything, which we don't think is correct. So just look into the camera. So please look into the camera. For big headphones, it is okay. You can use it, not a problem. But try using the earphones if possible. Secondly, dress code. Since I've gone and talked about it a lot, but yes, guys, dress code. Please try wearing formals. By formals, what do I mean? Is please wear a blazer, a shirt, a tie, and a pant. It is very important, because it is a very professional interview, and the best way of you looking professional is what you wear. So try wearing a blazer, shirt, and a tie. For girls, they can definitely wear salwar kameez. That is not a problem. You guys can do that also. That is equally Indian and ethnic. So you can do that. That won't be a problem. So yes, repeating it again, please guys, wear formals, formal attire, professional dress code should be followed. Thirdly, a lot of science students were asking me that, hey, we have taken PCM and now we are applying for BBA, BCom. What are the kind of questions are they going to be asked? So guys, they will not ask you anything related to science, because that is none of their concern. They would all be talking to you guys and want to know about is why did you shift, and why do you want to shift from PCM and having a science background to that of a commerce or BCom. So BCom or BBA. So definitely you would have your answers ready for that. And in terms of the questions that they will ask you, yes, they might ask you basic questions relating to commerce, accountancy, economics. And later in this session, I'll be telling you about the questions that were asked today. So even if you prepare for those questions, that will be great. So that was about the science students. Interview dates. A lot of you have been commenting a lot about the interview dates. So see, guys, this is how it works. From 27th, which is today, till 2nd of May, they will be hosting interviews. There are a lot of students that they have to conduct the interviews for. And how this works is that for all the people who are having their interviews on 27th, they received an email from Christ University on the 26th. And people were receiving emails till like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night also. So you would receive your emails, and that email would contain your time, the course you have applied for, as well as the link for you to join. So that will happen. So for all the people who are having their interviews tomorrow, they would have definitely received an email by today. And for all the people who have not received any email till now, then probably your interview is not tomorrow. Your interview can be day after, which is 29th or 30th or the 1st or the 2nd. So don't worry and don't panic about it, guys. They are going to be sending you emails so you don't have to worry if you've received the email or not. But yes, just keep checking, because what if you don't check in your interviews tomorrow? So please keep checking, but there's no need to panic about it. They will definitely let you know about the interview dates with the links. So fourthly, micro presentations. So what is basically happening is, for a lot of people from BA courses, they ask me that, hey, are the micro presentations happening? So for you all, in your course curriculum and for your selection process, micro presentations are not mentioned. But like I mentioned in my previous live as well, what these interviews do, since it is not as a formal criteria, they might ask you one or two of the questions which are very opinion based, and which is very similar to that of micro presentation. And so it is better if you prepare for it. Like I always tell each of my students, that it is much more important for you to be over prepared than under prepared. So if you guys work for your micro presentations, it takes care of your opinion based questions which might be asked to you later in your interview. So if you do that, it is fine. So it's okay if you work for your interviews, if you work for your micro presentations, but you don't have to put in that much effort. But for all the people who've done it, it's great, because definitely you'll be having one or two opinion based questions, and all the hard work that you put in for micro presentation can come in use there. So this was about micro presentations. Another thing that I want to tell about micro presentations is, guys, a lot of people today didn't know about the micro presentation topic that they got, and thank God they all thanked me that I told them. So they were very brave enough to ask the interviewer, hey, I don't know about this topic, can you give me another topic to speak on? And the interviewers and the panelists did give them another topic to speak on. So it is okay, guys, for you to not know the answer and about the topic which has been asked for you to present for micro presentation, but just be courageous enough and tell them, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know about this much, I've not been reading on this particular thing currently, can you give me another topic? Or hey, like one of the students who commented, only I was just reading this comment, he said that I didn't know about the topic. I said, but I prepared on startups, so can I talk on startups? And then he said whatever I had given on my micro presentation video. So you can do anything. Confidence plays a key role, and how you take it through is very, very important. So please, guys, be brave enough to tell your interviewers that you don't know about the this micro presentation topic, and let them give you another chance with some other topic. So it is very important that you guys do that and be brave about it. There's nothing to shy or harm. And rather than beating around the bush of something you don't know, it is better to come out clean and tell them you have no idea about this. How if they could give you another topic, and definitely they will. They are very polite people, and they're very calm people also. So they will give. They don't want to pressurize you in any kind of way. So they will do that. For now, next thing is session 3. You guys are still you guys are very confused about session 3. So for all those people who have given the session 1 and are currently giving the session 2, they can still apply for session 3, and you can do it like as many times as you want to, and for all different courses also. So session 3 deadlines are open. They're till 10th of May. You guys can apply. You guys can do it after your interview also, if you feel that your interview didn't go as you planned, or you think that you were not able to create that impact which you wanted to create. So you guys can definitely fill in session 3. As many opportunities you have of getting to your dream school is better. And by the time you would reach to your session 3, definitely you would have this interview experience, and a lot of anxiety would have already been gone away. So you can use that to your confidence and try getting through session 3. So that was about session 3. A lot of you were asking me about cutoffs. So guys, Christ University will not tell you about how much you have scored in your interviews, or how much you have scored in your micro presentation, or what was your result of CUET. They don't do any of that. So they will just directly give you whether you've been selected or not. That is the result that they will give you. And in terms of CUET interview and micro presentation, you would not know about the cutoff. And also the cutoffs are not same every year, because it really depends upon how the people who have given the same test have performed. So if the test was very, very hard and people could only answer 45 questions out of the 120, then the cutoff automatically is somewhere around 30 or 25-30. But if the paper was easy and people scored about 100, then the cutoff is 80-90. This is how the concept of cutoff goes. So this was about all the topics and all the pointers that I wanted to discuss. Now I will be getting to how the interviews were taking place today and what all questions were asked, which I have not discussed about in my videos currently. But before that, I just want to tell you that today I released 3 videos, which was relating to why you should join Christ University, why should Christ University select you, and how would you contribute to Christ University. So all those who haven't watched those videos, please do after this live. They're going to be very, very beneficial, because all these 3 questions were asked in like literally majority of the interviews. So do that. Now I'll be talking to you guys about the questions which were asked, and I haven't made a video on that, because since the time is less, so I will just do it here. Please have your pen or paper ready, and so that you just have your pointers, and later on when you're framing your answers, you can use that. So the first question which came, and a lot of people were asked this question, is what if we don't select you, or what if Christ University doesn't select you? So how would you answer this question? Ideally is you tell them, okay, if you don't select me, I will apply for round 3 and try to improve my communication skills, and so that I can ace my interview next time. This should be your ideal answer, okay? Because this just shows that you're very, very willing to join Christ University, and it's just a very positive answer to give, that session 3 is coming up next. I would try applying for the same course and hope to improve my interview skills and impress my interviews the next time if I don't get selected now. Okay, this is what you can talk about. Second question which came and which was very, very important is, what did you do, or what did you do during your lockdown? So a lot of people were asked this question today, and a lot of them were not even prepared for this one. And I would say that since you guys are watching this live right now, please be prepared for this question. Ideal answers, there's just no ideal answer to this one. Be very honest and tell them what exactly you've been doing. Since you all have been majorly preparing for your entrance exams and your interview, let your interviews know that you were preparing for CUET and for your interviews. Along with that, you were researching about Christ University. You were talking to alumni. Like, I'm an alumni, so you can say, definitely you can say that you were talking to alumni and you were trying to know about Christ University, about the course, about the interview process. This is what you have been doing. Along with that, be honest and tell them that you have been spending quality time with your family, which you could not do previously because of your boards and since you were busy with your class 11th, class 12th, and everything like that. So just be honest. Along with that, if you guys have gained any new skills, so please definitely share it with them. They would love to know about it. Someone answered that, hey, I'm reading this book. I read this book during my lockdown. And someone said that I'm learning cooking right now. I've learned a new language. And so you can talk about all of these things. It is just how you put it across. But definitely, guys, don't be blank on it. It doesn't put a really nice impression because definitely you have been doing something. If you don't know anything, you can just say that, yeah, I was working for my interviews and my CUET. If you're confident enough, then talk about the skills that you've gained during this time. It will be great if you can talk about the new hobbies that you've got. Someone has learned gardening, someone's cooking, and so you can talk about things like that. The third question which came is, have you applied to any other college? So guys, this question was asked to a lot of my students, and I want you guys to also be prepared for it. So how you can answer this question is, you can tell them that, yeah, I've applied to other colleges. If you have not, you can also tell them, no, I've just applied to Christ University. If Christ University doesn't happen, then I will try applying it for session 3. Otherwise, I'm still waiting for my board results and then I'll see which all colleges will select me on the basis of my board results. And if you have applied to other colleges, then they would ask the names of those colleges. So let them know the names of those colleges. So if you're in BB and you've applied to other colleges such as NMIMS or Jain University or Shahid Sukhdev Bhagat Singh, so you can let them know that, yeah, I've kept a plan B as these colleges, but my first priority is Christ University. Don't forget to tell that, because otherwise it would just put an impression that you are very overconfident, that you've applied to other colleges, or Christ is just like one of those universities. So you would not want to do that. Tell them the names of the universities that you have applied to, but also let them know that but your first priority is Christ University, and you would want to get into Christ University. Others are just like your backup plans or your plan Bs, because it is very important. You should not keep all your eggs in one basket. So you can use lines like these and let them know that you prioritize Christ, and for you Christ comes on number 1 in terms of comparison to other colleges and other courses. So this was another question which was asked. Next question which was asked: if you have suggestion for the government regarding lockdown, what will it be? Literally 7 to 8 people were asked this question, so I thought it is very, very important that. And this was asked in across all the other all the courses. Usually, I thought that this question might just be asked for economics or BBA, but this was even asked for CP and GP English. So I just want you guys to be prepared for this question. I'll repeat it again so that you guys can make a note of it. If you have a suggestion for the government regarding the lockdown, what will it be? I would really want that. I hope you guys are updated with current affairs and specifically coronavirus. In my GK session later in this live, I'll be telling you about the questions that were asked. But yeah, to answer this question, you guys see, there is no correct answer to this. But this is what I was researching about in the morning since the questions were asked. How you can ideally reply to this question is that you would want the lockdown to be extended because health is the priority of each and everybody. Like, the government should prioritize health of all the people than anything else. But at the same time, since a lot of population of India is below the poverty line, it is very, very important for the government of India to have a lot of economic sanctions, and they should provide proper economic grants to specifically the people who are living below the poverty line. So this can be your answer of what suggestion you would give to the government. Because if you think about it, it is actually very important for the lockdown to get extended, because if it spreads like it has in other countries such as Italy, France, Germany, US, it is going to be a big problem. And since the population of India and the healthcare facilities in India, is just going to be a disaster. But just because a lot of people are not from well-to-do families in India and a lot of people are below the poverty line, they might just die of hunger if not coronavirus. So it is very important for the government to pitch in and spend a lot of money, and the money should reach the right people. Because if it again goes through the corruption channels and everything, then it's a big disaster for the government. So yeah, this is how you can answer it. Definitely, I know you guys will be able to frame it better than I have. But yeah, you can just think about it in this lines. Number fifth question, which was asked, why are your marks low in class 11th? A lot of people will ask this question also. And to answer this question, you can be very honest, because I know a lot of people they've done extremely well in their class 10 and they've not done that great in their class 11. So you can let them know that, yeah, you were not focusing so much on your class 11 because you were busy with XYZ activities. Or else you can even say that, yeah, you have not scored that well in class 11 because you chose XYZ stream and it was very new for you, so it took you time. But you guys have worked really, really hard for your boards and you are expecting a great percentage. The board results have not come out, so please don't shy away from telling that you're expecting a great percentage. So you can definitely use this answer. I'll just repeat it again. That, yeah, I was since I changed my stream in class 11th, it was all the subjects were very, very new to me, so it took me time to adjust to it. But I worked really, really hard in my class 12th, and I'm expecting a great percentage in my boards. So you guys can use answer like that, and it is going to have a very good impact on your interviews. And don't shy away from telling that you have that why have you scored less marks in class 11, because a lot of people have scored less marks in class 11. But coming out honestly is very important. So please do that. Sixth question which was asked was, do you have any questions for me? I discussed about it in my previous live, but for all the people and for the benefit of the people who are attending this live, please use this opportunity to ask about anything under the sun related to Christ University. Interviewers would love if you're questioning them and then they get the chance to talk about the course, talk about the university, because the people who are taking your interviews love Christ University to the core. And if somebody asks them about anything related to Christ University, they would be very happy to share their thoughts of how they feel about Christ University and what is it that you guys particularly want to ask. Common question that you can ask is about the course curriculum, about the placement opportunities. You guys can even ask about the hostel facilities at Christ University, even though I've made a video on that, but you guys can still ask the question to your interviews that I want to stay in the hostel. What are the hostel facilities provided by Christ University? You guys can ask about the certificate courses. A lot of people today in my the feedback they gave, they asked to the interviewers, and the interviewers were actually happy because one of my one of the students told me that interviewer said that, how do you know about certificate courses at Christ University? It's great that you have researched in depth about Christ University. So these are the things I'm telling you is really going to help you ace your interview, because all the information that I am giving, I didn't have this information when I was appearing for the interviews. So this is really great for you, and it would just prove it to your interviews that you've worked really hard in terms of getting the required knowledge and the required information for Christ University. So don't shy away. Talk about anything, internships, a stay. You can even ask what would be the monthly expenditure at Christ University. What are the kind of sports facilities at Christ University? Do you have food facility for everybody in the campus? What about the certificate courses? How is the course curriculum? What are the new skills I will be learning during this time, during this course that I'll be doing? So you guys can try questioning, have at least 2 questions ready, and ask your interviews about the 2 questions that, yeah, I was thinking while I was researching, I was not able to find answers to these 2 questions. It would be great if you could help me or shed some light on it. As long as like you guys can stretch that conversation positively, it would be great, because the interviewer would feel that, okay, you are not fearing away from asking questions. So definitely do that. Seventh question, I haven't made a video on this one yet. I will surely be doing it, but for the benefit of the people who are attending this live, the question was asked related to your strengths and your weaknesses. Only 5 people were asked about strengths, but literally 11 to 12 people were asked about weaknesses. So please, guys, be ready with the weakness you have. And it doesn't. One of my students replied that I don't have a weakness, and the interview was like, okay, that's great. But I personally feel that it is not the correct answer to give. I think because nobody's perfect in today's surroundings, so you would definitely have one or two weakness, and you guys can talk about it. Common weaknesses are that you are overcritical, you are impatient, you stress a lot, you are not able to say no to people. You guys can use these as your weaknesses, and it is very, very common. You definitely, everybody has weaknesses, so don't shy away from telling your weakness. Be upfront and tell them that, yeah, you are impatient, yeah, you get angry fast, you're short tempered, yeah, you're very, very critical, and yes, you are a lot of time you have a lot of anxiety issues. You can talk about it, but also close this statement by telling that you're working on all of these weaknesses and trying to improve it as much as you can. Okay, so this is again, this again shows that to your interviewers that you're trying to make an effort towards your weaknesses. And so rather than coming out as overconfident person who says that who doesn't have any weakness, it is great that you tell them that, yeah, these are my weaknesses, but I'm working on my weaknesses, and I hope I will improve as soon as which is possible. I'm trying to, overcome my weaknesses by doing meditation or by reading a lot, by doing XYZ, whatever your weakness is, and you can relate to that. But make sure you tell about your weaknesses. Coming to your strengths, just be very natural. You would find a lot of strengths that you would have. You can say that, yeah, I'm a quick learner. I've always been on the merit list, and I'm an achiever, and I work hard. I'm a determined person. I'm a reliable person, and I'm a firm, fair, and a highly focused person. So you guys can use these lines, and you guys can use these words, and you guys can say that how have you gotten this strength. So if I'm hardworking, you can just relate it to an anecdote that since my father was very hardworking, he always taught me to be hardworking. And if you are an ethical person, then you can always say that my grandfather taught me to be very, very ethical. It is very important in this society to be ethical. And I'll be talking about a lot of questions which came related to ethics. But yeah, so this is how you can answer your strengths and your weaknesses. So guys, please, these questions are very, very important. For all those who haven't noted down, I'll just quickly repeat the questions. I won't answer it again, but I'll just quickly repeat the questions so that you guys can frame the questions again. So the number one is, what if we don't select you? Number two, what did you do during your lockdown? During the lockdown. Number three, have you applied to any other college? Number four, if you have any suggestions for the government regarding the lockdown, what will it be? Number five, what are your marks? Why are your marks in class 11th low? Number six, do you have any questions for me? Number seven, strengths and your weaknesses. So this was about the questions which were asked and which were common to each and everybody. This came across the courses for everybody. So it is very important that you prepare for these questions. Now I will be going through each and every particular course or the subject and the questions, the subject questions that they were asked. Because I know a lot of people, they can, since I've told these questions, so they will be able to prepare for it. But a lot of you have not been able to prepare your subject related questions. And I was reading a lot of comments wherein you don't know what is going to come for BCA, for economics, for BST, and for English history. So I've made all the notes from the feedback that I've got today and the questions that they were asked. So let's get started on that. The first course I'm going to be talking to you guys about is BCA, and the questions that they were asked was, please guys make a note of all this if you are if you're applying to BCA, because it is definitely going to help you, because they've been repeating these questions. So please make a note of it. The first question was Java syntax and what are tokens. So you guys can find the answers on your own. Even I don't know answers of a lot of this because I haven't studied computer application on my own. But these were the questions, and I thought that it is very important that I let you guys know that these questions were asked, so that if these questions were asked you again, you guys can definitely answer. So the first question is Java syntax and what are tokens? What do you know about C++? What suggestions you would give to Google in terms of technology changes? This was the question which was asked. What do you know about blockchain? Blockchain is another concept. It has come in a lot of micro interviews, micro presentations as well. But yes, it was asked to one of the students in the BCA for the BCA course. So what do you know about blockchain? What is computer networking? What is full form of LAN? What is the concept of database? And what is a spreadsheet? So these were the 5-6 questions that were asked, subject related to BCA students. For economics, now this is for all the people who have economics in their course, be it economic honors or triple majors or double majors. So for all the people who have economics in their course, these were the questions that they were asked. Demand, what is demand? What is supply? Price elasticity, what is inflation? Difference between inflation and stagflation. What is law of marginal utility? Difference between macro and microeconomics. Surplus versus scarcity. GDP versus GNP. So these were the questions that that was asked particularly for all the courses related to economics. So I made a note of that. For CEP, questions came relating to media, print media, difference between print media and broadcast media, suggestions for social media, advertising. Do you think public relations are important in today's scenario? What is your opinion on corporate communications and money spent on corporate communications? What is your view on social marketing? So these were the questions which were asked related to CEP. I will just repeat it once again. Print media, broadcast media, difference between print media and broadcast media, what is social media, advertising, difference between social media, social marketing and advertising, corporate communications, and do you think it is justified to spend that much money on corporate communications, importance of public relations, and social marketing. Okay, so for all the people who are asking me to repeat economics, I will just do it once again. Demand, supply, difference between demand and supply, price elasticity, what is inflation, how is it different from stagflation, law of marginal utility, difference between macro and microeconomics, surplus versus scarcity, GDP versus GNP. So this was for economics. For all those people who are asking me to repeat BC, I will also do that. Java syntax, what are tokens, what do you know about C++, what suggestions would you give to Google in terms of technology changes, what do you know about blockchain, what is computer networking, full form of LAN, concept of database, and what is a spreadsheet. So these were the questions that were asked for BCA. Moving to law, for all the students who are appearing for the law interview, the questions they were asked was, how many articles are there in the Constitution? I'll go slowly so that you guys can make a note of it. How many articles are there in the Constitution? What do you know about Karnataka state election? What do you know about the Karnataka state election? What is contract law? Who is an attorney? I'll repeat, who is an attorney? The president rule under the Article 356 remains valid in a state for the maximum period of, I'll just repeat this question, guys. The president rule under Article 356 remains valid in the state for a maximum period of, and you have to tell that answer, what is that period? What is mercantile law? What is section 304 of IPC, Indian Penal Code? So what is section 304 of IPC? So these were the questions and the feedback I got from the people who appeared for the law interview, and these were the questions, subject related questions that they were asked. Now, for a lot of students across BBA, BCom, Economic Honors, and BBA FNIB, BBA Travel and Tourism, and BBA FNA, BCom Professional, a lot of them, the questions were asked related to BST accounts. So I will be talking about these two. So you guys can definitely make a note of that. From BST, the questions was Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? What is planning? Define total quality management. Do you know the 8 P's of marketing? I've always been telling my students about 4 P's of marketing. And today, the questions was asked, do you know about the 8 P's of marketing? Who was F.W. Taylor? And do you know about any of his theories? I'll just repeat it again, guys. Who was F.W. Taylor? And do you know about any of his theories? And what is a bailout? So these were the questions that they were asked for BST. I'll just repeat it once again, guys. Don't worry about it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What is planning? Define total quality management. Do you know about the 8 P's of marketing? This question was asked a lot to a lot of students, so please be prepared for it. Who was F.W. Taylor, and do you know about any of his theories? What is a bailout? So yes, these were the questions that were asked for BST. Okay, since all the people are asking, I'll just repeat law once again. How many articles are there in the Constitution? What do you know about Karnataka state election? What is contract law? Who is an attorney? The president's rule under Article 356 remains valid in the state for a maximum period of. What is mercantile law? What is section 304 of the Indian Penal Code? So these were the questions for law. BST I've already repeated. Now moving on to accounts. This was again asked to a lot of students from BCom, BBA, BBA Honors, BBA FNIB. So for all these people, please listen to it and make a note of it. What is fixed assets? What is the use of balance sheet? What is the start of the fiscal year? When is the start of the fiscal year? Tell me the journal entry for goods sold on credit. So this was asked as one of the questions. Tell me the journal entry for the goods sold on credit. Difference between depreciation and depletion. What is goodwill? What is dissolution? I'll just repeat it again for the benefit of everybody. Accounts, these were the questions. What is fixed assets? What is the use of a balance sheet? When is the start of the fiscal year? Tell me the journal entry for goods sold on credit. Difference between depreciation and depletion. What is goodwill and what is dissolution? So these were the questions asked for accounts. For history and pol science, these were the questions they were asked. I don't know a lot of people, so I just got a little bit of feedback. But these were the questions they were asked. That was asked to history and political science and any courses related to that. Discuss about the rise of popular movements. Discuss about the rise of popular movements. Talk about one international organization. Discuss the first Gulf War. What is your opinion and what do you think about the Indo-Pak War of 1971? And lastly, the Kashmir situation. I'll just repeat it for all the people. Discuss about the rise of popular movements. Talk about one international organization. The first Gulf War. What is your opinion and what do you think about the Indo-Pak War of 1971? What do you think about the Kashmir situation? So this was asked to people who have been applying to courses for history, political science and economics. So these were the questions asked. For psychology, the questions asked were these: artificial intelligence and its role in the coming years, functioning of the human mind, social cognition, and name any two psychological disorders. I'll repeat the question once again, guys. Artificial intelligence and its role in the future years, functioning of the human mind, social cognition, name any two psychological disorders. So these were the questions which were asked particularly for particular subjects. Now I'm going to be talking about one thing that I still feel that a lot of my students even didn't perform that well. So that section is general knowledge. I know you guys have been questioning a lot of what are the questions that can be asked and everything. See, again, questions are like general knowledge is just huge, but this is what I gathered from the questions that were asked to people today for general knowledge. And I will be telling you all these questions. And I'm just want to let you guys know that these questions were repeated. So a lot of people were asked same general knowledge questions. So one person was asked like 3 or 4 people were asked the same question. So it is very, very important for you guys to prepare on these questions, but and also on questions relating towards these lines. But along with when I'm discussing the questions, I'll also be discussing about things related to that question and what all you have to study for general knowledge. Like, so this is one technique that I used when I was preparing for my general knowledge, because even I was very, very weak at general knowledge. So in my mind, I used to always make a graph of what I was learning. So, and anything and everything related to that one particular thing also, I used to learn that. So this is how you can do it, and this is how your general knowledge will be improved, because if you guys make a mind map in your brain, like if you've studied about like iPhone, then you talk about Apple, then you talk about iPad, then you talk about MacBooks. So in your head, then this is how it comes. Like, when was the new MacBook? When is the new MacBook going to be released? When was the iPhone released? So things like that. So with one concept, you guys can frame and have an idea of like the bigger scenario. So this is how you should go. It is very, very important that you spend this time with me right now, because all these general knowledge questions definitely can be asked to you also. And since I'm going to be going through these questions, we can discuss about what all other things can be asked along with these general knowledge questions. Just to clarify, general knowledge questions are asked to each and everybody from all different courses. So it's not anything specific to BBA, BCom. It was asked to people from economic honors also, from history, pol science people also, for BCA people also, for law people also. So general knowledge is going to be asked to each and everybody. So now let's get started on general knowledge. The first question is, what is GST? Do you know GST? Do you know about GST? You guys definitely know about it, but since like I'm talking to you guys about mind mapping, know about when the GST was allowed, and you know what which all other countries are following GST, because GST is not an Indian concept, it's a foreign concept. People from abroad are following it, and then we guys are trying to replicate that model. So you guys can talk about GST, learn about GST and other things related to IGST. You guys should also know about what was there before GST, like the tax and the VAT and everything. So this is how you just mind map around one concept. So the question that was asked to one of my students was, what is GST? Okay. Secondly, the question was asked was, what is the difference between Nifty and Sensex? It is very, very important. I'm not sure if this question is going to be asked to history, pol science people, but for economic honors, for law people, even for BBA, BCom, this question is very, very important. So please know the definitions of Nifty, of Sensex. What is the difference between Nifty and Sensex? Where are their headquarters? What is SEBI? The full form of SEBI. So this is how you should do mind mapping in your head. When you know about Nifty and Sensex, think about the stock market. What is stock market? Think about SEBI, the body which is governing the stock market, and then definitely the difference between Nifty and Sensex. So this was the question that was asked: what is the difference between Nifty and Sensex? Along with that, the repeated question was, what is the opening points of Nifty and Sensex yesterday? So for all the people who are giving the interviews tomorrow, please in the morning just go through the opening points and the closing points of Nifty. Closing points you will definitely not be able to go through, but the opening points of Nifty and Sensex, and even for the opening and closing points of today, please do that. So it is very, very important that you do this. When was the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan launched? So this was a question asked to one of my students. When was the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan launched? So please, guys, again, mind mapping is very, very important. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. I guess it was somewhere, if I haven't studied about it, but I think it was October 2nd, I think 2014, if I'm not wrong, because Narendra Modi bought this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So along with that, you can, when you are learning about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, think about what all other policies Modi bought in that time. How has the impact of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan been like? So because all these, now GK and micro presentations work very, very simultaneously. So all those questions that can be asked in your GK also have a very good base for that in your micro presentations. So please go through when was the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan launched. Along with that, please learn the dates of other policies and the other things that Narendra Modi government has bought, because they are definitely asking when was it launched or not. Along with that, a very, very important thing, please learn all the cabinet ministers who are currently serving. It is very, very important, because a lot of my students were not able to answer things like who is the Minister of External Affairs, who is the Transport Minister, who is the Minister of Home Affairs. So please, guys, PAN question, very, very important. It can definitely come in. Please learn all the cabinet ministers, and specifically the ones which like we tend not to know the answers of, like who is the Minister of Media and Broadcasting in India, and who is the Minister of Agriculture, things like that. Because this is where GK just gets tricky, because we might know who is the Finance Minister, who is not, but things like this is very, very important. So please learn PAN in PAN. Just like for GK, I think just go through all about the Constitution of India, along with everything related to the government and politics, and specifically all the cabinet ministers. Please do that. Next question that was asked was difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Please, very, very important question. Please do that. Again, like I've told you, go through the whole of Constitution of India, because they can ask you things like these, like the difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, how are the members elected, and what is the quorum, and all these things that you've studied before, but you might not be able to recollect it then. So please learn about it. Next question is, please go through all the names of the CEOs of the big brands and the upcoming startups. A lot of questions were asked related to, do you know the name of the CEO of Google, name of the CEO of Microsoft, and name of CEO of Zomato, name of CEO of Ola. So all the startups and all the big companies in India as well as abroad, all the whole conglomerates, please learn the name of their CEOs. It is very, very important that you do that because they're asking it. And this is very, very specifically very, very important for people from BBA, BCom, because these questions were asked to them. Nextly, which movie recently won the Oscars? What is the name of the director of that movie? So again, please go through the list of Oscar winners, and it is very, very important because they're asking things like that. Parasite, by the way, won the Oscars. So please again go through Oscars in general. Just go through all the award. Somebody go through all the Padma Shri awards, Bharat Ratna awards, and especially Arjuna awards, and all those people who won these awards recently. So please go through that. Very, very important to do that. Next question was, who was the 26th finance minister of our country? So like I've told you, cabinet ministers are being asked a lot. And this is, I think, this is a little tough question because you might not know who the 26th finance minister of our country was. This question even came to me, but that time it wasn't asked like who was the 26th. It was just asked who is the finance minister. And the answer is like Arun Jaitley. So you please learn about, like I'm telling you repeatedly, please go through all the cabinet ministers, Constitution of India, and everything. So please do that. And next question, the last one, which was asked was, which prime minister was recently affected with coronavirus? I'm pretty sure you guys would know the answer of this, but the president or the prime minister was from UK. You would know the answer. Please do that. Boris Johnson is his name. So why I want to tell you this is that they are even and also, guys, I forgot to tell you. It's I mentioned, I skipped it. Please learn the capitals of different countries because people were asked what is the capital of France, what is the capital of Germany. So please learn the capitals of the world. In fact, all the countries, major countries in the world. Please go through all the capitals. Very, very important. Along with that, please read world news. I wasn't expecting it. I thought that they just might be asking Indian news and the latest current affairs, but yes, they are asking world news also. So they are very much concerned about what is happening in the world, and they want you to be aware of what is happening in the world. So not a very good news, but yes, please try getting in knowledge about the world news as well. What is happening in different countries? What are the kind of talk, or none of, like, they didn't give me feedback about Trump, but I'm pretty sure they can ask you questions related to Trump, his policies and everything. They can ask you questions related to Brexit. It's a very, very hot topic, and definitely questions related to Brexit can come. How is it going to impact the European Union? How is England going to be benefited out of it? Things like that. How is their currency going to be affected and everything? So please talk about it and learn about general knowledge as much as you can. This was majorly, guys, about the general knowledge. Like I've said, mind mapping is very, very important. This is just like, I think, 10 to 12 questions, but this 10 to 12 questions just gives you a lot of idea about what kind of questions are being asked in the interview. And this is enough for you to start sitting on your laptops and researching about it, because from one topic you would get to another and to another, and that's how your base would be formed. Another very important thing that I want to tell you guys is, it's okay even if you don't get through uh, a lot of general knowledge, but whatever you do, make sure that you know the answer of that, and whatever you've done, it's everything is in the top of your head, because there's no point of you spending 4 to 5 hours on general knowledge and not even remembering like hardly 10 to 12 questions. So it won't be great. So try doing smart work here, that whatever syllabus that you're trying to do in general knowledge, you do it by heart and properly, so that if anything related to that field comes in, you slay it. And that would be great. Relating to all the questions and things relating to all the questions and things that are, just a second, I need to block one person from the chat. uh, it's a very, yeah, okay, done. Yes, so he's gone. Okay, so thank you for letting me know, guys. Yeah, so all that I was telling you for all the sections, even if you guys are not asked the same question, it is very, very important that you have an idea, and it's just like setting up fences, that these are the kind of questions that are being asked, so you guys can study about it. So not necessarily that you are, if it is BSc, not necessarily that you're asked planning, but just because they're asking planning, that means that they can even ask you controlling, ask you about management, ask you about administration. So please be aware that this can be, this is how now I've given you the base, but although now you have to research about these particular topics and try expanding your base by learning more about it. So just don't go through these questions that I've given you. Just take this as a base. Obviously you should know the answers of these questions, but along with that, learn and study more about the particular subjects, because I'm pretty sure by now you guys are already prepared for the general questions. So just tell me about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, why should we select you, why do you want to do this course. I know all that is done. Now our next half is, now next part of slaying the interview is learning and getting all the technical questions right. Because if you would do that, that means everything is just perfect. You've done really well on your technical questions, as well as your general questions are already prepared. So please use all the insights that I've given you related to subjects. Lastly, I want to talk about micro presentations, and I think it is very very important because it has a lot of weightage, and your overall because think about it, guys, this is going to be the last thing that your interviewer is going to judge you on, and this is going to be a concluding thing in your interview. So if you have a great amazing impact in your micro presentation, they might even forget what did you even speak in the starting, and how even if you were stumbling in initially, if you do really well in your micro presentation, it's just awesome, because that is the last thing you will be leaving your interviews with. And if you've made some amazing arguments in your micro presentation, it would just have a very positive impact, and it would just be like a tick mark, yes, you are selected to Christ University, thing like that. So please, I will be talking to you guys about the topics that I've given for micro presentation, that were asked. I've already released a list of 100 topics, but a few topics were similar, but there were new topics which I hadn't put in my list and that they were asked. So I will tell you guys about it. Prepare about these topics, or even if you don't want to prepare about it, just go through it once, that just in case this same topic comes in, how would you respond to it? Like I've mentioned in the start of my life, it is okay, guys, if you don't know the answer of a particular micro presentation topic. Be honest to your interviewers and let them know that, hey, I am not aware of this field, or sorry, I just skipped, I didn't read about it because I was preparing for my interview. But could you give me another topic? Or I have prepared on this topic. Would you want me to speak on it? So please, guys, have a lot of confidence. It's okay. You guys can. I'm pretty sure you guys will slay it, but just have a confidence. And these are the topics which were asked in today's micro presentation to the people. So use this as an advantage. This is just like a great benefit. And specifically, since the reason of me having this live is because I got a lot of data from the people who had given their interviews today. And I thought that it is very, very important that I get you all together. And through this live, I tell you about all these topics and these micro presentation topics and the subject related topics. So these were the questions that were asked. Just give me a moment. First micro presentation topic was smart work versus hard work. A very general topic. You guys can pick up sides if you want to say that, yeah, smart work is much better than hard work. If you don't want to do that, also you can tell, yeah, each has its own pros and cons. Smart work on its part is very important, but hard work is also very important. And hard work done without any kind of smart planning is not a great way, because you are not moving towards your goal and your destination. So I'm just giving you pointers, but yeah, smart work versus hard work, a very, very general topic. You guys can use some anecdotes also, that, yeah, this was one more time when, I was doing smart work, but I failed. Or yeah, it was one time when I was doing a lot of hard work, but I could not succeed because I hadn't planned and worked smartly according to the plans. So you guys can use things like that. Yeah. So the first micro presentation was smart work versus hard work. Secondly, and this was not even kidding you guys, literally 8 people messaged me saying that their micro presentation topic was impact of COVID-19 on the economy. And I was just laughing because I've already put this topic on my list also, and people were definitely prepared for it, because if you are doing general knowledge, you're definitely preparing for coronavirus and COVID-19. In terms of the impact of COVID-19 on the economy, the simple answers are, yeah, it's just getting very, very bad. And the government facilities and the government the government process and the whole government system has to come together to improve the economic impact, because it is really, and I'm not like the other than the micro presentation way to tell you guys and justify my thought, it has actually impacted a lot. It's a very, very big disaster in terms, it has beaten all the previous viruses and even the financial crisis of 2018 or 2008. So the magnitude of COVID-19 is huge, and specifically in countries such as Italy, France, and US, it's just getting worse day by day. So you guys can talk about the impact on the economy. If they specifically talk about Indian economy, you can say about how the job sector is going to be affected, how the travel and the tourism industry is going to be affected, how the entertainment industry is going to be affected. So you guys can break it to different industries and sectors and talk about different impacts. You guys can, if you guys want to have a positive view on it, it's great. I think interviews will love it. You guys can say that COVID-19, one of the positives is on the social media in general, and people getting online and trying to generate content online. People are working from home. So how is it going to change the future surroundings? Is because now people, since they are so used to from working from home, and if they're able to deliver the same quality of working from home, people might not even need offices in the future generation. Because if you, at the end of the day, if you're getting the work done from your home, why do you need to travel 1 hour every day to go to your office and then 1 hour to come back home? So this is the kind of impact it can have. And it is going to, it is, you can also say things like, yeah, it is going to change things forever. Like, because how we were before lockdown and before coronavirus, we are not going to be the same. A lot of things are going to be changed. And specifically in terms of travel and tourism, entertainment, food and beverages industry as a whole, I'm telling you for sure, I think the whole setup of restaurants and people going out and having dinings and everything, it is just going to be changed forever. Same is the case of how we entertain, how we consume our entertainment. People might not go to cinemas and everything, and all the content that we might just receive it over Netflix, Prime, Hotstar, and everything like that. So this is the kind of topic I know you guys would have prepared a lot, and this is where you try to show that you are very, very intellectual as a person. Because if you talk about these things to your interviewer and try giving him different scenarios and different talk about different fields, it would be great. Just don't keep it very bland that yeah, coronavirus was the very worst thing, the economy is very bad, we don't know what is going to happen. Don't do anything like that. Be very, talk about it in from a business point of view, talk about it from a very confident and a professional point of view. If if just as if you are the economic advisor, how would you answer that? Along with that, just to give you another tip, a lot of economic advisors have put up their suggestions on the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. So definitely read up on that. You would get tons of material on it, and they are just like the perfect answers for you to give. So that was the question that was asked. You guys get then the next question was talk about the oil crisis in the world, and this is also somewhere related to coronavirus. But you guys can talk about how the Gulf countries, what is happening currently, how the the price has just been fallen of the oil barrels and everything, and how the futures contract has been revoked, and since they have to meet it, they have to sell it even at the minus figures, because the price of oil barrels went to minus in dollars, which is very, very shocking. And this is first time in the history ever something like this has happened. So please research a lot about the oil crisis of the world and how it is going to affect the whole world in general. Then discuss about one of the bank scams. I don't need to talk about this. You guys would definitely know. I think this is going to be on your tips, and you guys can talk about the. I think it's Indian setup would be great. There have been scams which have happened about of bank scams which have happened in the world, in other world banks also. But you can talk about the Indian setup, and if you guys can use examples such as Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi. So these are the kind of scams that have happened, and how it has affected the whole banking scenario and everything. And guys, whenever, just another tip that I want to give you in between only I'll do it, is that whenever a topic is given, just don't say right, wrong, this, that. Try showing the impact of it from different scenarios, and how different people would view it, and how it has had a trickle down effect on different economies. If you would do things like that, your interview would think that you just don't have a one dimensional way of thinking. You think and you're looking from different point of views, and you have different perspectives over things, which just shows that how intellectual and well read as a person you are. So you guys can talk about that. Next was Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. You guys, this is, I think we have been studying it from our childhood days, and this is just one of the great initiatives of the government, and we guys should definitely totally support it. And tell them if you have any anecdotes related to how you contributed to this kind of initiative, and how you would want the government to bring up more initiatives, or how the government should implement this initiative in the better way possible. So please feel free to give in your suggestions. These are the topics, like this is just, I think this all these topics should become your comfort zone, and you should just be very confident the moment you hear anything related to these topics. Then last one, not the last one, And not the last one, but yeah, this next micro presentation topic was Make in India. We have tons of data on this, so please try to include FDI, the impact of FDI, and how government and specifically Narendra Modi has helped. And it is like because of this, a lot of FDI has been come into our country. And being because of Make in India, we are trying to compete with the world countries, and trying to have better jobs for everybody. Talk about the economic growth, talk about how the job sector is going to be impacted, and how it is going to be beneficial for each and everybody if all the kind of manufacturings and everything happen in India. Also tell them that you feel that India is already equipped with everything of hosting Make in India properly, because a lot of people, and I was just reading that they said that India is not ready for a proper implementation of Make in India because India doesn't have that kind of infrastructure and the skill set. But you guys can talk, like, since India is growing at a tremendous pace, and because everybody's gaining skill set, and a lot of our countries, the youth population, they are definitely studied, and they can make an impact. So with having the foreign direct investment and a lot of capital in India, the India as a whole is going to improve and grow. So these are the topics you can use for Make in India. A very, very important topic, guys. Please have like literally 7 to 8 pointers ready on Make in India. It is very, very important. Next one is Economic Nobel Prize 2018 or 19. Please go through all the Nobel Prize winners and what was the reason of them winning the Nobel Prize, and how is it that they're trying to promote research and development in general. Where it's a very important topic because 2 or 3 people got this topic, and it is one of them didn't even know the answer of it. So he was one of them who asked, I haven't read about Nobel Prize winners. Can you give me another topic? But now that I've told you about this, please be prepared on Nobel Prize winners. Next one is Niti Aayog. Each one of you know what Niti Aayog is, and it is very important that you read up on it and the great initiatives that they are doing. Also, please read about the name of the CEO of Niti Aayog, because that can come to you as one of the questions in general knowledge. And when was it formed? You can even do that. Next micro presentation topic is WHO, which is the World Health Organization. Every day in the news you would see it's the president of WHO who's talking to us, and telling us about the coronavirus and the impact, number of cases, and the total number of deaths, total number of recovered. So WHO is just the organization which is working towards coronavirus, and trying to fight it through eradicate this virus through all the countries. So WHO is a very, very hot topic. Next topic, and I think this came to 4 or 5 people, and but this was specifically for people from BCom and BBA, which was the Union Budget of 2020. Please go through the main points of of Union Budget. It is very, very important. They can ask you your opinion on the Union Budget. They can even ask you what are your suggestions for a Union Budget. Like in my time when I was one of my general knowledge questions was this: if you have one advice to give to the finance minister, what would that be? Is my voice cracking? I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me? Just let me know in the comments section below, in the chats. Is my voice cracking? Hi guys. Just let me know yes or no if my voice is cracking. Okay, it's not. Someone is saying yes. Okay, I'll just still try speaking slowly. So guys, yes, Union Budget is a very, very important topic. Guys, please check your net, because your net might be slow because others are able to hear me well. So for all the people who are not here to who are not able to hear me, please try refreshing it. I'll just continue with the micro presentation topics. So like I was saying, guys, Union Budget and all, you don't need to know each and every detail about Union Budget, but just as much detail as it can, as you can last for 90 seconds in terms of the micro presentation, and you would get a lot of data about it online. And if I would be you, I would just go through like the main points, as well as if I have any suggestions in the Union Budget. So things like that. Then there were also very general micro presentation topics, which I thought that they were very, very easy. But yeah, these the topics was this: is smoking injurious to health? So this was one of the topics. We all know the answer to this, and so you guys can definitely prepare for it. I don't need to talk much on it. Do you think liquor should be allowed in campuses? This was one of the micro presentation topics. This is fun topic to talk on. You guys can give your opinions on that. And Next topic was, what is more important, ethics or profitability? Another topic where you would have to choose sides. Ideal answer would be that you guys go with ethics, no matter what you think. But I think being ethical, and then you guys can use this question or your micro presentation to relate it to how Christ University has great values, and how they are so ethical, and they try to teach that to their kids, because each of the students at Christ University have to go through the holistic development classes each semester, wherein they talk about society, culture, community development, sustainable development, and things like that. So yes, this was one of the topics. What is more important, ethics or profitability? Lastly, one of the micro presentation topics was climate change. We all know what's happening in the world scenario right now, a very very hot topic. And this was asked to person from psychology honors. So that's, I just wanted to tell you guys know, let you guys know that this was asked that talk about climate change. Like I've told you, a lot of people from the BA courses, they don't have micro presentation in their selection criteria, but definitely your interviewers ask you questions which are very much opinionated and are very similar to that of micro presentation. So even if you guys don't want to work really hard for micro presentation, I would still suggest that you guys go through a little bit, or just have that in your mind. Because if you are pretty sure that you don't have any micro presentation topic, if you don't have any micro presentation, but just in case something like this comes and you're blank, it won't be great. But yes, obviously you don't have to work really hard for that. And not that all the courses from BA have been asked micro presentation topic, micro presentation, or even opinion based topics. But just in case that comes, like I've said before, being over prepared is better than being under prepared. So this was it. Repeat the last one. Yes, the last one is climate change. This is from the world context of how climate change is happening, and how global warming and everything is taking place, and how the future generations are going to be affected, because they will not have basic necessities like we had, and they will not be able to enjoy the luxury of our environment like we are today. So definitely it's a very very important topic. These were the topics that I got from the people who gave me feedback regarding micro presentation. And there were other topics as well, but those were the topics which were very similar to that of my list, so you guys can do it. Now I will just, like, for 10 to 15 minutes, I'll start taking any important questions of the things that I haven't discussed and you guys are asking me, because I think time is very very crucial to each and everybody, so I don't want to let everybody hanging. So if you have any important questions which you think I haven't covered in this whole session, please put it across. I'll just read it and go through. I'll just answer you guys. Can you repeat about the topics from LLB? Yes, I can do that. I'll do it right now. I'll just do it very fast so you guys can make a note of it. How many articles are there in the Constitution? What do you know about the Karnataka state election? What is contract law? Who is an attorney? The president's rule under the Article 356 remains valid in the state for a maximum period of. What is mercantile law? What is section 304 of IPC? So this was it. Yeah, Ajit, skill assessments are not happening. None of the students that they gave the interview today, none of them had a skill assessment. So I don't think so they're having it right now. Maybe you have it along with your CUET exams. Not pretty sure about it, but yeah, for now, just focus on your interviews. That is it. Quick recap for BCA. Yes, I'll do it. So for BCA, guys, I'll just repeat it once again. Java syntax, what are token? What do you know about C++? What suggestions you would give to Google in terms of technology changes? What do you know about blockchain? What is computer networking? Full form of LAN? Concept of database? What is spreadsheet? For people who are asking related to science, so the thing is, actually, I didn't have any of the person coming back to me from BTech background for who had applied to BTech to give me a feedback, so I couldn't collect questions on that. But as far as past experiences, questions for BTech come from generally from PCM, what you've studied in your class 12, and they're very very general questions. But yeah, they have things related to chemistry and your solutions and things like that for chemistry. So just learn that more. And for physics, you have some kind of laws and things like that for physics. This is what I remember from the previous time. Today, actually, nobody gave me feedback related to BTech, so I couldn't include that in this today's live. What are the important questions for BBA? I've told it, guys. Your accounts in your commerce and all the important topics that I gave under accounts and commerce are going to be there, especially, and also economics. So actually, for English honors, actually nothing specific to your course was basically asked. They just wanted to know your opinion on literature. Which book are you reading? What do you think about? I think one of the writers' name was there. I'm forgetting it. So yeah, these were the three questions. Only two people gave me the feedback, and they had very similar questions. So I'll just repeat it for English people. What is your view on literature? I remember now. What is your view on literature? What is the future of modern literature going to be? What do you think about theater as a medium of experimenting with literature? Which book are you currently reading? And do you know, and there was this writer, so what do you know about this writer? So things like that. So yeah, number of panelists, usually there are two, but since I think they were hosting a lot of interviews today, a lot of people came back to me saying that they just had one panelist. So whatever it is, I don't think it makes any difference. But yeah, 2-1, not more than two for sure. I am science student applying for BBA. Will they ask me about science subjects of class 12? No, Ajit, they will not ask you. They will just ask you why you want to do BBA and why are you shifting from science to BBA now? And do you have any general knowledge related to commerce, accounts and economics, things like that. There's so many questions for psychology. Okay, I'll just repeat it, guys. These were the questions that were asked for psychology. Just give me a moment. Yeah, psychology questions were asked: artificial intelligence and its future, functioning of human mind, social cognition, name any two psychological disorders. These were the asked for all the people who missed out on the topics. It doesn't make sense for me to repeat these topics. You guys can review this live again, and then you guys can make a note of these topics. So if you have any other question relating to your interview or anything, I'm happy to help. And also, guys, I just want to tell you, I'm really, really sorry I could not conduct mock interviews for you all because I don't think so it would be fair on me to select randomly people to have mock interviews with. That is the reason I'm not doing it for anybody else. But the better part of not having mock interviews is that I'm able to have these live sessions with you where I'm able to benefit so many people, and hope you guys have been added value from this live. Tomorrow is my interview. Samat, all the very best for that. Guys, any other questions? Please put it across. Let me, if I can answer. Anything I've not answered, guys, don't please put repeat questions because it would just waste time of everybody else who's also on the live. So if any question you think that others can also be benefited. Do BCA have micro presentation? No, BCA doesn't have micro presentation. But like I've told you, they can ask you one or two opinionated questions, such as this one, which was asked for BCA. I think it is more or less like a micro presentation topic that what suggestion you would give to Google in terms of technology changes. So it is more or less like a micro presentation topic. So, and what do you know about blockchain is also very similar to that of a micro presentation. So yes, but usually BCA doesn't have micro presentation. But these are the kind of questions they are asked. So please be prepared for micro presentation. Right now, this is what suggestion and recommendation I will give to all those people who are watching this live. Don't think if micro presentation is there for your interviews or not. You just prepare for it, because trust me, preparing for micro presentation automatically prepares you for your interviews also. So do that. Trust me, take my advice, do that. Are they providing 30 to 40 seconds for micro presentation? Yes, they are. They would give you time to prepare. You would have a pen and a paper along with you. You can make notes on that, and then you can start talking. For session one, I don't know, fortunately, unfortunately, but people were even allowed to browse and use their phones for that. But this session, they're not allowing anyone to do any of that. Personally, I feel using phone or browsing is just a waste of time, because by the time you're typing, 30 to 40 seconds would just be gone. So it is more important that you brainstorm and write your quick pointers, which you're going to be talking about. I've made a specific whole video on 3 tips how to ace your micro presentation. Please watch that video. That is definitely going to help you. I've also given my answer of a sample micro presentation answer. So please do that. Financing questions. Actually, there weren't any much of the financing questions, Ragini. They were majorly related to commerce, accounts, and stock market. So if you do this, I think more or less your finance is covered. But if you really have time, you can definitely go through equity analysis, derivatives, commodity market. This is just going to be extra things, and if you're more prepared, no harm for that. Yes, for media students, like I said, I'll just it is very important because all these topics were asked, and this is pan across media, journalism, and everything. I'll just repeat it again: print media, broadcast media, social media, advertising, public relations, corporate communications, and social marketing. All these things were asked. Some was as definition, differences, opinions. So this was uh, I'm not sure if I'll be able to have the live tomorrow. I'll just see if a lot of people want it. I'll have the same live. And definitely for the people who will be having the interviews day after tomorrow, it would just be great because we would have a lot of data and a lot more questions to talk about. If I'll try, if I can do it, not a problem. Because I know this live helps a lot of people. People have thanked me for this live. So if I have time and if I get a lot of data from all the people who are doing the interviews tomorrow, and for all the people who are doing the interviews tomorrow, please do DM me the question they were asked, because it will just be great for the people who are giving the interviews next day. Sorry for that. Yes, each and every course has to prepare for general knowledge. It is very, very important that guys you do it. Don't think BCA people or people from history, political science, they will not be asked general knowledge questions. Each and everyone is asking about general knowledge questions. So please be prepared for that. Any other questions? I have no. If you have taken BCA and if you don't have computers, it's going to be a tough battle for you to cross. But you guys, you still have time. Just go through the basics of computers and let your interviewers know that you're very passionate about computers now, and you hope to do it through extra classes and everything. Yes, one of the very, very important questions. This is a good question, and I'm expecting questions like these. What if we get blank? Please answer. Very good question, and I think this is very natural, guys. It can happen with anybody who's giving the interview. It can even happen with me, and very, very naturally, all you can do is just learn these few quick pointers which you guys can use. I'm really sorry, I haven't read about it. Can you please repeat it, or can you please? I'm not sure about this. Can you put some light on it? Or I'm really sorry, I forgot to read about this particular thing, but the moment I step out of this room, that will be the first thing that I'll do. Or the moment I step out of this video conference, that's the first thing I'm going to be reading about. So these are the kind of things that you guys can talk. It's okay if you don't know about it, but yeah, just like getting blank, you should come back harder on that. What do I mean by that is, if you are blank, just your second response should be of excuse me, sorry, pardon, I'm really sorry, I don't know about it. Can you shed some light, or can you share some details about with me about it? I skipped reading about this from the past few days. But the moment I step out of this video conference, that will be the first thing that I'll read about. Or if you could shed some light. So this is a very good question, and yes, it can happen with anybody. So please, guys, if just in case, God forbid, if it happens with you that you're automatically blank or you just black out and you're not able to, answer that question, just tell your interviewers that I'm really sorry, I was not able to read about this particular thing, and due to which I don't have any clue about it. But it would be great if you could share your opinions on it, or if you could let me know what is it, or if the moment I step out of this video room, this is the first video conference, this is the first thing I'm going to read about. Any other questions like these, guys, which can benefit everybody else also, please do that. MSV program, the MSW program. Okay, Nikita, I'm really sorry, but it would be great if you could just DM me, because I'm pretty sure not a lot of people here are from masters. So I can definitely reply to you on the Instagram. I'll do that. It might just take time, but I'll do it. For BBA, yes, business, commerce, finance, everything. BBA is a very general course. That is the reason you have to do it. What happens if we are not able to hear? Yeah, so guys, it has happened with a lot of people today also. There were still a lot of technological issues in terms of you not able to hear your interviewer, or your interviewer not able to hear you. But this is the thing with technology, guys. You just have to be patient. There's nothing else that you can do. Nobody can be fully prepared for technology. But just in case you're not able to hear your interviewer, just let them know, hi, can you please repeat? Am I and whenever you're starting, guys, just make sure that you start with, hi, am I audible? Can you see me? And then start with good morning, good afternoon, how are you? Things like that. First, like just setting the basics, and just in case in between the interview stops. So this happened with a lot of people. For all the people, the interviews stopped at the end of it. They didn't get a re-invite for the interview. But for all the people who were not able to join due to some or the other reasons, or the interview was just cut in like 2 minutes because of some technological errors, they were sent a re-invite and they would be appearing again for the interview. So guys, nothing to worry about. But all that matters is your patience and answering the questions. So do it with confidence. I'll talk about confidence at the last. But just in case you have any other questions, hobbies. Ananya, just be very natural and be loyal to, like, just be very truthful to your hobbies. Whatever you're actually doing, do it, because what happens is, if I like, say, if to give you an example, if I say my hobby is analyzing stock market, and then what if they get really interested about stock market and they start asking me about it and I have no clue? So there is no point in lying about hobbies, and hobbies are a very personal thing. So it is nothing like, one is it's like an ideal answer or it's not like an ideal answer. Be very open about it. Tell them that you are watching Netflix and you're watching documentaries, or you are binge watching, or you're cooking, or you're gardening, things like that. Be very truthful, because if they ask you something related to that, because if they ask you, because a lot of people said that they are reading novels, and then the counter questions was, which novel are you reading? What is that one thing that the novel has taught you? So things like these can come. So don't bluff with your hobbies. Never do that. So whatever your true hobbies are, just let them know that these are your true hobbies. And then, because with hobbies, they definitely counter you with things related to that. So do that. How to join Google Meet? Deepti, very, very nice question. So guys, for the benefit of everybody on this live, I'll just repeat it once again. So your Christ University will send you an email ID telling you which course your interview is for, the date of the interview, the time of the interview, as well as it will have two links for you to join the Google Meet, and you guys can click on that link and directly join to the conference. That is it. Nothing hardcore on that. It's very, very normal. Should we communicate fully formal with a small smile? A very nice question. I think you should. Yes, guys. I think these are it for questions. They're good questions. I'll just talk about very, very important things. Please, have a smiling face. Very good question. Please have a very smiling. It's a very it's a very good thing if you have a smile face. But don't get very informal also. At the end of the day, they are judging you, and for everything that you speak, they're going to give you points and they're going to mark you on it. So nothing to get informal, but if just try striking that conversation that we do. To give you an example, you should not be as friendly as you are with somebody who is your age, because bro things should not happen. But at the end of the day, you don't have to be very formal as you would be with the Prime Minister of India. So someone, like, how you talk to your father, how you talk to your grandfather, that is the kind of level that you should have, wherein there are fun conversations, but at the same time there is decorum and formality maintained. So something like that would be great. But keep smiling, guys. Even if you don't know the answer of anything, just keep smiling, because that would show that you're very, very confident. I'll just take last 2 to 3 questions, and then I'll just leave you with the leaving thoughts, because I don't want to stretch this for more than 1.5 hours. So guys, I won't repeat the topic again because everybody's on the live. It doesn't make sense. You guys can rewatch it, and then you guys can do. For Naveen, for statistics, questions relating to, like how I said in my previous live, mean, median, mode, data, and how would you calculate data, correlation, things like these came. All guys, thing is, all the technical questions are all related to what you studied in your class 12. So nothing very, very specific, or nothing that you haven't studied. The reason of them asking you technical questions is all they just want to see is whatever you have studied for your boards. Are you able to recollect that? And how good is your recollection power, and how well you would have done on your boards? So they just want to do that. Is it better to use headphones, or would it be informal? No, you can use headphones, not a problem. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. Just in case it's a utmost priority where there's so much noise around you and you have to wear a headphone. There. Otherwise, try using the laptop mic itself, and even the laptop audio should do. Rather than using a headphone, try isolating yourself and be in another room where there is less disturbance. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Nimila? Very, very nice questions. Yes, this question was also asked, but I thought that I've already discussed about it. So these 2 questions are coming: your short-term goals and your long-term goals. For long-term goals, very commonly you can tell them that you haven't thought about it and you're open to experiences. But short-term goals, you definitely need to have something of what you want to do post your degree with Christ University. Ideal answers to that is, yeah, I want to work for a corporate, or you want to go for your higher studies and get more skills, or you want to open up something of your own, or you are still open to experiences and opportunities. Things like that. You can say very, very natural question, a very, very natural answer to have. For your long-term goals, you can just say that you haven't planned that ahead and you're still waiting for correct opportunities and right kind of mentorship which you would get from the faculty at Christ University. Then is only when you can decide about your long-term goals. This is a great line to use, guys. You can talk whenever they're asking you something related to long-term goals. Just tell them that while you will be pursuing your degree at Christ University, you will be looking for mentorship and guidance from the faculty at Christ University, and then is only when you will be able to decide what do you want to do in the long term. But yes, for now, short term goals are that you plan to get a job after Christ University, or you want to do a master's in that particular field, or you want to research more and things like that. This is very specific to what you want to do. But yes, I'm an NCC cadet. Shall I mention this in my introduction? Tuhina, definitely. Yes, Tuhina. Yeah, Tuhina, definitely you should do that. NCC, Christ University has a full department related to NCC, and people from all the courses and departments enroll to NCC, and they go for different camps and everything. So if you say something like that, it would be great. And I just hope that you've actually done it. If you have, then it's awesome to use it. Go ahead with that. Use it, in fact, in your introduction itself. It just puts a very, very positive impression, because Christ University loves NCC cadets, because it just brings in a lot of discipline to you. Show any certificates, sports, Tejas, if I'm not pronouncing your name wrong. So you don't have to show any certificates, guys. I was reading the comments. This was also asked. So you don't have to show any of the certificates. They won't ask you to show any of the certificates. But see, I'm telling you, these people who are taking your interviews, they've been doing this is part of their job each and every year, and they've been doing it for 10 to 15 years. So they're very, very smart in judging the person who is bluffing and who is not bluffing. I'm like, I don't know, this comes with experience and this comes with gray hair, but the faculty who will be taking your interview, they already know if you're bluffing or not. So a lot of people today, they were asking me that if they are not going to ask for the certificates, can I just bluff about my achievements? I would just recommend, and I would just suggest, please don't do it. If you can bluff it with a lot of confidence, and if you're sure that they will not come to know about it, it's a great try to have. But just in case if you bluff in between, and if they catch your bluff, it is just a clear no-no, and you might just get rejected then and there. So don't try bluffing with your achievements, because if people just start bluffing with their achievements, then it just and if they start catching, you will automatically be debarred from even from that particular interview, and you will not be selected. So, but if you've done your achievements, yes, they're not going to. If you've actually achieved things, they're not going to check the certificates, and they might just ask you counter questions on that. That if I say I'm a national level basketball player, then they might just ask me which state were you representing, and which all tournaments have you won, what were the government grants which were given to you after winning the national tournament, things like that. But so if I say something that I've won the maths Olympiad, and if you ask me something related to maths Olympiad and I haven't done it, then I just fall flat on my face, right? So you would not want to do any of that. So if you have done, then you can talk in Hindi. No, please don't do that. The official language at Christ University is English, and your interviews are going to be conducted in English. Please do that. For all the people who do not have that great communication skills, it is okay. Everybody is learning and growing each and every day. One tip that I used to use, because even I wasn't great, and I still am not, but one tip that I used to use is that whenever I speak, I try thinking about what I'm going to speak, and then I talk about it. If you start doing that, you will automatically, your errors will be reduced. So for all the people who are not confident about the communication and the English speaking skills, try using this advice of mine. It will definitely help you. Whenever you're going to speak about it, think what you're going to talk, and then say. It will automatically reduce a lot of errors and avoid a lot of errors in your speaking of English. So that is there. If I want to be an IAS officer, what can they ask me? They will ask you things related to why do you want to be that, and are you ready to? Do you know how much hard work does it take to be a civil servant? And do you know anybody who's already a civil servant from your family? And things related to then a lot of history, political science, and a lot of geography of India, environmental issues of India. So they can. IAS is a very tough thing to say, but if you say it, they're definitely going to counter you with 2 or 3 things. But that also puts a great impression, because at the end of the day, why would they not want any of their alumni to be a civil servant? It's just great on university. So if you can do that. Grace, I've talked about 11th marks. I won't be repeating it. I'm sorry. Mobile laptop also, I've said I won't be repeating it. Guys, any other questions that you have? I'll just stop taking questions. I just want last 3 to 4 minutes of you guys to pay attention to what I'm going to say now. Like I said in my previous live also, guys, this is part of our preparation and our learning process. This is, I know for you, a lot of you, this is going to be your first interview and not your last. So try learning as much as you can through the whole of this process. The three important things that I still want to leave you guys with. Already made a video on how to ace the online interviews, but just, since you guys are here for the live, I'll just repeat it. Please have confidence. Confidence is the key to each and every success. Your body language and the way you're sitting, the way you're looking into the camera, the way you are smiling is all a part of your confidence. And it's just like 50% of your interview. 50% is what you speak and what you answer, but 50% is what is your body language. Where are you looking from your eyes? Don't look here, there, because it might just, if I'm looking there, then you might think somebody's there, right? Then it just doesn't put a great impact. And so please don't do that. Look directly into the camera, have a smiling face, smile, try using your hands as much as you can, things like that, because then they will just say that, oh, you're trying to use, hand-eye coordination and, trying to use hands. All these things are very, very important, guys. Make sure, try avoiding technological issues as much as you can. Try having a plain or an organized background. Very, very important that you do that, because I don't want the interviews to get distracted. Think about it. If I would have put a family photo here behind, you definitely, each one of you would have tried looking at back and thinking, okay, who are there in my family and things like that. So it just distracts the interviewer. So this is very, very important. These are like the final concluding tips. I will try, if I can have a mock if I can have a live session tomorrow with all the database of the reviews and the feedback I get from the people who are giving their interviews tomorrow. But this is about it, guys, for this live session. Hope you guys do really, really well. Very, very important for you guys is to please subscribe to my channel. Sorry for plugging it in now, but if you do, you would get notifications of all the videos that I upload. Along with that, you will be in touch with me, and I will definitely be helping you with a lot of quality content. And our journey is definitely going to be very longer than you just getting into Christ University. It's just great mentoring you all. Thank you so much for your time and patience of sitting and listening to me. I just hope I could add value to you and to the information that I provided. While I was giving my interviews, none of this information was there. And I think that all this information is just like so much of value bomb that you can use in your interviews. And this is all can make a lot of difference. Like all the people who are watching this, I can definitely tell you that you guys are like far ahead in terms of your interview preparation already than the people who haven't watched this live, because a lot of this information is very, very important for you getting through Christ University. At the end of the day, it's just one interview, guys. Don't fear about it. We have session 3 with us again. So for all the people who think that their interviews haven't gone that well, trust your gut feeling and apply for session 3. By the time you appear for session 3, you would have a lot more confidence, because you would have already gone through the first process of the interviews and your anxiety would have gone. Yes, another thing that I want to talk to you guys about is anxiety. I know, guys, it is very, very natural to have anxiety and the adrenaline rush. But this is, like I've told you, this is your learning process. So just try being prepared, as much prepared as you can for the interviews, and try looking into the mirror and practicing. Try giving mocks with your family members, and try going through each and every of my videos, because they're very, very important tips that I've talked about. Even like this live was just about like the technical questions, but for all the people who are still not prepared for the questions such as tell me about yourself, micro presentation, why should Christ University select you, how would you contribute to Christ University, and all these questions, specifically the 3 videos that I released today. Please, they're very, very short videos that I've released, so that it's easier for each and one of you to watch it. Please go and please watch those videos once again, and please make a note of all the tips that I've mentioned to you, because the reason why I'm telling you that is not to promote myself, but just because the people who have given their interviews today, they gave me awesome feedbacks in terms of the tips actually helping them. And more than listening to my tips, it is very important, guys, that you even implement those tips. So all that I say is actually very, very important, and that is because of the experience that I've had of being in Christ University and giving a lot of interviews. Not only the first one at Christ University, but also once you guys get into Christ University, you would have a lot of interviews inside Christ University for various competitions, fairs, events. And by the time you graduate from Christ University, you would just be so much pro in terms of interviews and everything. So thank you so much for watching this video. For all those people watching this live, for all those people who haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. It would be a great motivator for me to work hard for you all, to get the quality content for you all. So please subscribe to my channel. Once again, please watch the videos. They're really very important for you. So whenever you get time, just go through all the tips that I've given. Please watch my experience video, because that would just tell you about the frequently asked questions, and you guys, how you guys can prepare for that. And specifically the 3 videos that I've released today, very important. I'm just repeating it for each one of you so that you guys actually do it. For all the people who are having the interviews tomorrow, you still have tonight. Try framing your answers, learning those answers, and watching those videos for the tips so that you guys can frame the answers better. Please do that. Tomorrow's the interviews will start from 9 a.m. in the morning. And all the very best to each one of you appearing for interviews tomorrow. For all those who do not have their interviews tomorrow, I might see you tomorrow again with a small live session that if I can do. Thank you so much, Naina. And guys, I actually want to thank you guys for the amazing response that you've given to me in terms of the feedback that you guys have given to me about me and about the quality content that you've got. I'm actually so much overwhelmed. I didn't plan that I would get to this. I just want to release a few videos to help you guys. But just because you guys are so much more inquisitive and you guys actually have so much rigor of getting into Christ University, and that has just been motivating to me to, you know, make more videos for you all and everything. So for me, it's just like quarantine got the best of me, and hopefully it just gets the best of you, and you guys all get through Christ University and enjoy all the facilities that Christ University has to offer. So thank you so much for watching this video. Oh my God, it's 1 hour 36 minutes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll cut it short now. Take care. Bye-bye. All the very best to each one of you having the interviews tomorrow. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to ace it with all the motivation that I've given you and all the confidence you guys are going to have. And this is all your hard work because of you sitting and watching and taking all the content that I've given you. All the best, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. See you soon with a lot of videos. I'll try having a live tomorrow. I'll let you guys know about it and post it on my channel so you guys can tune in then. Take care. Bye-bye. Have an amazing day. Good night. Sweet dreams. Work hard for your interviews. For all the people who are having their interviews tomorrow, frame your answers well. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.